if you are a loved one that you know suffers with neuropathy or has concerns of neuropathy, let me tell you what the most common symptom is. But before I do that, let me tell you that neuropathy can affect any nerves in your body, even including the nerves that go to your organs. So that means that you could be having something like constipation, okay? And it could be related somewhat to a neuropathy problem. You could also have it into your arms and hands, where you have numbness or tingling, or you get the dropsies, you know what I'm talking about? You kind of fumble things, you're more clumsy with your hand, your dexterity has been affected. That can happen, but the most common place that's going to be affected is going to be your legs and your feet. And so I'm going to go through with you today 4 things that must happen in order for you to rebuild the nerves in your legs in order to get rid of the symptoms from neuropathy and begin to get a normal life again. So the first thing is that it begins to happen, and the reason that the nerve begins to die off is because it loses oxygen, O2. So if you don't restore oxygen back into the nerves, you're not going to recover. And that means to get oxygen, you have to have what? You have to have blood flow. Absolutely right. So if there's not good circulation, you're not going to have, your nerves are not going to come back. They're not going to be restored. You're not going to get rid of your symptoms. And even the drugs that you're taking, including your gabapentin, is not going to work forever. So with that said, what's the biggest thing to affect circulation? Blood sugar, right? Okay, so now we're getting to it. Blood sugar effects on the nerve are because it causes the small vessels in the nerves to not be able to get blood flow and oxygen to the nerve. So anything above 6.5 on your HA1C, nerves die. 6.5, nerves die. Okay, and that's been proven in multiple studies. The third thing is you must get back normal stimulation. Normal stimulation. That means normal sensations back into the nerves. This is where things like walking help, where massage helps, where vibration helps, and other home therapies that you can do to begin to rehabilitate these nerves. But they must first have oxygen, they must have blood sugar, and lastly, they're going to need fuel. So what does a nerve need for fuel? Well, it needs vitamins and minerals, especially B vitamins, good levels of omega-3 fatty acids in particular. So if these things are deficient, it's not going to happen. And I'll give you a bonus thing. You must have an anti-inflammatory environment. If you're suffering with chronic inflammation, even if you do all of these things, you still will not restore that. So the source of the inflammation must be addressed, and it must be corrected. One more thing I need to say about oxygen. You know what? It could also be because you have an anemic pattern. If you're anemic, you're not going to get oxygen back to your nerves. Not very well, not enough to heal them. And the last thing is that in spite of all these other things that you've done, if you have an autoimmune condition that attacks your nerves, if that's not stopped, none of this here will stop your symptoms and the progression of your neuropathy. So you need to be evaluated properly, find out what all of these factors are involved, and then have a plan to restore them. And if you do, you can get better. And I don't care how old you are or how long you've had it or what your medical doctor said, you can get better. We see it all the time in our office, and if we can help you, we would love to help you improve the quality of your life. Hope to see you again on the next video. Until then, live life well, and God bless.